Shwmae a croeso nôl. Dyma sesiwn Cymraeg a iaith uwchgyfrannol, sesiwn 1 heddi ar ddefnyddio iaith ar gyfer uned 3. Felly bydd sesiwn 2 yn canolbwyntio ar y ffilm Patagonia. Ond am heddi, dyn ni'n canolbwyntio ar iaith, gramadeg, grammar and language that you'll need for the Unit 3 exam. So, amcanion y sesiwn, aims y sesiwn heddi ydy adolygu gramadeg y presennol a'r perffaith, okay, so looking at the present tense and the perfect tense, completing some tasks yn yr amherffaith, looking at the imperfect tense, adolygu gorchmynion, so commands, ail berson unigol a'r lluosog, and then also looking at cwestiynau hefyd. Okay, so I ddechrau te, faint o'r canlynol ydych chi'n gwybod? How many of these do you know? Okay, so mae'r geiriau yn Gymraeg, how many of these do you know yn Saesneg? So mae gyda ni wedi, roeddwn ni, ysgrifennwch, llythyr, newidiwch, mae ein, doeddwn ni ddim, ffurf, cyfieithwch, mae nhw, dylech chi, hoffeti, rydyn ni wedi, a trydydd person. Felly, dwi'n mynd I roi 2 funud I chi, 2 minutes nawr, just I nodi, to note down, y geiriau yma yn Saesneg, please. Okay? Paid y becso am y trefn. Don't worry about the order. Just cyfieithwch, please, yn Saesneg. Iawn? Felly, 2 funud yn dechrau nawr. Okay, so as you are starting to think of these and write these down, what I would advise is pausing the video now, finishing off your answers, making sure you're happy with them, and then pressing play to go through the answers. Okay, felly, dyma ni te yr atebion. Felly, wedi, we know, means has or have. Okay, so dwi wedi, I have. Okay, mae e wedi, he has. So wedi can mean has or have. Roeddwn ni, or roeddwn ni'n, I was. Ysgrifennwch is write, and you'll know that from doing GCSE where you have to do the commands. Anything with wch on the end is a command. So ysgrifennwch, write. Llythyr is a letter. So ysgrifennwch lythyr is to write a letter. Cyfieithwch, translate. And it's also really important that you know these commands for when you're answering questions, okay? Obviously, the questions are yn Gymraeg, felly mae'n bwysig gwybod yr ymadroddion yma yn Gymraeg hefyd. Newidiwch changed, so for example, in the exam, you may be asked to change something from the first person to the third person, so you need to know that command there. Mae ein is he or he is. Mae nhw, they or they are. Doeddwn ni ddim, I wasn't, not I'm not, that's dwi ddim, doeddwn ni ddim, I wasn't. Ffurf is form, dylech chi, you should. Hoffeti, would you like? Rydyn ni wedi, once again, that word wedi, we have. And trydydd person ydy'r third person. So you may be asked, like I said, to change from first person to third person. Okay, that could be in the positive or the negative. Felly, I ddechrau te, to start us off, we are looking at y presennol a'r perffaith, the present tense and the perfect tense. Now, mae 3 colofn ar y screen, okay, 3 columns. On the left-hand side, you've got y presennol. So we've got rydw i'n, rwy ti'n, mae ein, mae hi'n, mae Jacen, rydyn ni'n, rydych chi'n, mae nhw'n. And quite quickly, we can translate those to rydw i'n, I am. Rwy ti'n, you are. Mae ein, he is. Mae hi'n, she is. Mae Jacen, Jack is. Rydyn ni'n, we are. Rydych chi'n, you are. Mae nhw'n, they are. Iawn? So that's an ithysimol nawr. Gwaith dych chi wedi gwneud yn tygau. Okay? Middle column wedyn. Slight difference, we've still got the present tense, except this time we've got rid of our apostrophe N and we've added wedi. Now, think back to a couple of minutes ago where we said that wedi means has or have. So rydw i wedi, if rydw i is I am or I, rydw i wedi is I have, okay? Rwyt ti wedi, you have. Mae e wedi, he has. Mae hi wedi, she has. Mae Jack wedi, Jack has. Rydyn ni wedi, we have, okay? Rydych chi wedi, you have. Mae nhw wedi, they have. So that word wedi, we get, in the perfect tense, we get rid of the apostrophe N, and we add wedi to mean has or have. So we're slightly changing the tense there. We've also got, in the final column, rydw i wedi bod. So bod in this instance is going to mean been, okay? We know that bod can mean that, but in this instance, we're going to say been. So rydw i wedi bod, I have been. Rwyt ti wedi bod, you have been. Mae e wedi bod, he has been. Mae hi wedi bod, she has been. Mae Jack wedi bod, Jack has been. Rydyn ni wedi bod, we have been. Rydych chi wedi bod, you have been. A mae nhw wedi bod, they have been. Okay, so dyma'r presennol a'r perffaith. So if you know the left column, you're rydw i, rwyt ti, mae e, mae hi'n, then all you've got to do for the middle is take away the apostrophe N or the N and add wedi. And then the final column, we're just keeping column 2 and adding bod to mean been. Okay. You've also got the same and a negyddol in the negative. So the same way we had I am, I have been, we've got dydw i ddim yn, dwyt ti ddim yn, dydy e ddim yn, dydy hi ddim yn, dydy Jack ddim yn, dydy ni ddim yn, dydy chi ddim yn, and dydyn nhw ddim yn, okay? So I am not, you are not, he is not, she is not, Jack is not, we are not, you are not, and they are not. Same thing again, yn y canol in the middle. Dydw i ddim wedi, I have not. Dwyt ti ddim wedi, you have not. Dydy e ddim wedi, he has not. Dydy hi ddim wedi, she has not. Dydy Jack ddim wedi, Jack has not. Dydyn ni ddim wedi, we have not. Dydych chi ddim wedi, you have not. A dydyn nhw ddim wedi, they have not. Now, I roi cyd-destun I chi to give you context here. Dydy Jack ddim wedi, okay, Jack has not. So let me give you an example of a sentence. Dydy Jack ddim wedi gwneud ei waith cartref. Jack hasn't done his homework. Dydy e ddim wedi astudio mathemateg. He hasn't studied maths. Okay? And once again, y column olaf, the final column, is the same thing again, but with that word bod on the end. Okay? Now this time, there's no apostrophe N to get rid of, just that word un. So if you look at the difference between columns 1 and 2, there's no un between them and wedi, okay? So just be mindful of that. And so column 3 is going to copy column 2, but just add in that word bod. So dydw i ddim wedi bod, I haven't been. Dwyt ti ddim wedi bod, you haven't been. Dydy e ddim wedi bod, he hasn't been. Dydy hi ddim wedi bod, dydy Jack ddim wedi bod. Dydyn ni ddim wedi bod, dydych chi ddim wedi bod, a dydyn nhw ddim wedi bod. Now, what I suggest is, what would be a really good idea is, if you go back to these 2 slides, pause the video, practice saying them, okay, practice saying them out loud, practice translating them from Cymraeg to Saesneg, Saesneg I Gymraeg, a wedyn, creu brawddegau, practice creating sentences, maybe just a couple, just so that you are practicing using the different forms. Okay, so what I want you to do, here are some sentences you can use, or you can do your own. So it says cyfieithwch, which we know is translate. So I want you to pause the video now and look back, okay, at the 2 slides, and I want you to translate the following. She doesn't enjoy films because they are boring. I have studied law for a month now. We haven't read the novel yet. He supports Wales. They don't think that the main character is kind. You haven't been listening. Jack has paid for the trip. We are opening the shop at 9 o'clock. So cyfieithwch o Saesneg I Gymraeg, please. And what you can remember as well here is that these these tenses are obviously going to help you gyda unit 3, grammatic, but also these are sentences, the sentences that you could be creating now could be used in your other exams and your other unit of work. Okay, so beth dwi eisiau chi wneud, please? Dwi eisiau chi oedi'r fideo, pause the video now, cwblhewch y task, and then we will go through the answer. So this type of task should take you a couple of minutes, 3 or 4 minutes maybe, a wedyn ewn ni trwy'r atebion. Iawn te, so pause the video and press play when you're ready for the answers. Okay, felly, dyma'r atebion. Felly, question 1, she doesn't enjoy films because they are boring. So, presennol, present tense. Dydy hi ddim yn mwynhau ffilmiau. She doesn't enjoy films achos maen nhw'n ddiflas. Okay, so completely in the present tense, but the negative. She doesn't enjoy films because they're boring. Rhif 2, I have studied law for a month now. The I have studied. So we can't just use dwi'n. We've got to use rydw. We've got to use rydw wedi. I have done something, okay? So rydw wedi astudio'r gyfraith am fis nawr. We haven't read the novel yet. So once again, we've got that word have, or in this instance, have not. So we know it's the negative version. Iawn? So dydyn ni ddim wedi darllen y nofel eto. Okay? He supports Wales. Once again, back to the present tense. Mae ein cefnogi Cymru. Okay, so he is my ein. Cefnogi is to support Cymru, Wales. They don't think that the main character is kind. Present tense, they don't think. There's no has or have in there, so we don't need to worry about wedi. Okay, so dydyn nhw ddim yn meddwl bod, they don't think that, y prif gymeriad yn garedig. Okay, you haven't been listening. Dydych chi ddim wedi bod, haven't been, wedi bod. You haven't been listening, dydych chi ddim wedi bod yn gwrando. Jack has paid for the trip. Mae Jack wedi talu. Jack has paid. Wedi is has. Talu is paid in this instance. Mae Jack wedi talu am y trip. Now, even though in English we would say has paid, we would use paid in the past tense. In Gymraeg, after wedi, we can just use the verb. So wedi astudio, has studied. Wedi talu, has paid. Wedi bwyta, has eaten. Okay? So mae Jack wedi talu am y trip. Ac ar un olaf wedyn, rydyn ni'n agor. We are opening, same as we open, present tense. Rydyn ni'n agor y siop am 9 o'r gloch. Felly, dych chi'n gallu rhoi marc wedyn am eich gwaith. Okay, you can give yourself a mark and see how many you had correct. Just remember, one thing to take from that task is we know the present tense. If we want to add a has or a have, we will be adding wedi into our sentence. Okay, and symud mlaen te i'r amherffaith, the imperfect. So slightly different tense now, not quite in the past, okay? But even though a lot of these will be used with past tense structures. So, I'd like you to repeat them after me. Okay, and then we'll look at the tasks that go alongside this. Felly, ar ôl fi, please. Okay, roeddwn ni'n, roedde ti'n, roedd ein, roedd hi'n, roedd Jack yn, roedden ni'n, roedde chi'n, roedden nhw'n. Okay, ac yn y negyddol wedyn, doeddwn ni ddim yn, doedde ti ddim yn, doedd e ddim yn, doedd hi ddim yn, doedden ni ddim yn, doedde chi ddim yn, doedden nhw ddim yn. Okay? Felly, this time, roeddwn ni'n I was. Okay? Not I am, not I have been, I was. Roedde ti'n, you were. Roedd ein, he was. Roedd hi'n, she was. So if you ever see something with roedding it, you know we are looking for was. Same in the negative, wasn't, doeddwn ni ddim yn. Look at the pattern again and a negyddol. Always got them in the negative. They all start with a D as well. Doeddwn ni ddim. Okay? So what we're going to look at here is changing sentences from the positive, from y cadarnhaol i'r negyddol. Felly, dyn ni'n mynd i defnyddio'r grid fyna. Okay, we're going to use the left-hand side, which is the positive, because the sentences are written in the positive. And we're just going to go across and see if we can change them to the negative. Felly, rhif 1, fan hyn, roeddwn i'n hapus neithiwr. I was happy last night. So what we want to change that to, rather than I was happy, I wasn't happy last night, okay? So the only part of that sentence we need to change is roeddwn i'n, okay? We want to change it to doeddwn i ddim yn. So instead of roeddwn i'n, doeddwn i ddim yn hapus neithiwr. Okay, so if you're looking at changing from the positive to the negative, a good idea is to revise a grid like this and revise them going across. What's the positive version? Beth ydy'r negyddol? Okay, rhif 2. Roedd hi'n gwneud ei gwaith cartref yn y car. So she was doing her homework in the car. So yn y negyddol, in the negative, we want to say she wasn't doing her homework in the car. Once again, look at the part of the sentence, the section of the sentence you need to change. So, nid roedd hi'n, but go across, doedd hi ddim yn gwneud ei gwaith cartref yn y car. Okay? Rhif 3. Roedden nhw'n hedfan am 6 yn y bore. So, they were flying at 6 in the morning. So, unwaith eto, roedden nhw'n positive, and troi turns to, doedden nhw ddim yn hedfan am 6 yn y bore. Okay, they weren't flying at 6 in the morning. You may also have to change to the trydydd person, okay, to the third person. So instead of saying, I was writing a story, you may have to say, Jack was writing a story. So this time, you may have to go in the same columns, but just moving down. So let's just remind ourselves, first of all, what these are. Roeddwn i'n, and doeddwn i ddim yn. Person gynta, unigol, first person singular. Roeddet ti'n, doeddet ti ddim yn, ail berson, second person singular. Roedden, roedd hi'n, roedd Jack yn, those three there are trydydd person unigol, third person singular. When we get down to roedden i'n and doedden i ddim yn, we're on the first person plural, so we, first person plural. Roeddech chi'n, doeddech chi ddim yn, ail berson lluosog, so second person plural. And then you've got roedden nhw'n, doedden nhw ddim yn, third person plural. So you've got first, second, third singular, first, second, third plural. Okay, so let's have a look. Roeddwn i'n ysgrifennu'r traethawd ar y penwythnos. I was writing the essay on the weekend. We could change roeddwn i'n to roedd Jack yn ysgrifennu. Jack was writing the essay on the weekend. Okay, doeddwn i ddim yn hapus gyda'r sgôr. I wasn't happy with the score. So we may want to say, she wasn't happy with the score. So instead of doeddwn i, we need to look at the pronoun here, doedd hi ddim yn hapus gyda'r score. If you wanted to say he wasn't happy with the score, you would say doedd e ddim yn hapus gyda'r score. Okay? A wedyn yr un olaf, rhif 3, roedden ni'n chwerthin yn y cinema. Felly, we were laughing in the cinema. So if we wanted to change that to not we were laughing, but they were laughing, for example, roedden nhw'n chwerthin yn y cinema. Okay? So defnyddiwch y gridiau, okay? Pan rydych chi'n adolygu, defnyddiwch y grid I newid o'r person gynta i'r trydydd person. Okay, we can also use the amherffaith, the imperfect, and that word wedi. Okay, and we discussed this earlier, that when we use wedi, has or have, we get rid of the apostrophe n. It's the same thing here again. Okay, so just the ymarfer to practice. Roeddwn I is I was, but when you put wedi on it, it becomes I had. Okay, so roeddwn I wedi, I had. Roeddet ti wedi, you had. Roedd e wedi, he had. Roedd hi wedi, she had. Roedd Jack wedi, Jack had. Roedden ni wedi, we had. Roeddech chi wedi, you had. And roedden nhw wedi, they had. Yr un peth yn y negyddol. Doeddwn I ddim wedi, doedd e ti ddim wedi, doedd e ddim wedi, doedd hi ddim wedi, doedd Jack ddim wedi, the same thing again. Okay? So, beth dwi eisiau chi wneud nawr, please, task arall. You're going to look at the 5 brawddeg sydd ar y sgrin. Okay? 5 brawddeg. Brawddeg 1. Doeddwn ni ddim wedi bod I Japan. Rhif 2. Roedden e'n hapus yn y parc. Rhif 3. Roedd nhw wedi darllen y llythyr. Rhif 4. Roedd hi wedi clywed y newyddion ar BBX bore yma. A rhif 5. A dweud y gwir, roeddwn ni ddim yn gwybod yr ateb. Now, beth dwi eisiau chi wneud, please, what I'd like you to do, ydy, darllenwch y frawddeg, read the sentence yn gyntaf, a penderfynwch os ydy'r brawddeg yn gywir, is the sentence correct, cywir, neu anghywir. Oes camgymeriad yn y frawddeg? Is there a mistake? If there is, what is it correct to? What does it need to be changed to? So what you can do here is, you can note these sentences down, then you can rewind this video, look back at the last screen, and then you can decide, according to the grid, ydy'r brawddegau yn gywir neu'n anghywir, ac os ydyn nhw'n anghywir, if incorrect, cywirwch y brawddegau, correct them, okay? And that will help you with the accuracy in your work, but also will help you learning the tenses, okay? So beth dwi eisiau chi wneud, please, can you pause the video now, and then come back when you want to check your answers. Iawn te. Right, okay. Ar atebion, rhif 1. Mae rhif 1 yn hollol gywir, okay? Completely correct. Doeddwn ni ddim wedi bod I Japan. So the tense is right, the spelling's correct, there's no apostrophe N with the wedi, it's all fine, okay? Rhif 2. Camgymeriad, mistake here, right ar y dechrau. Roedden e'n, well, that is the wrong ending. When you want to say he was happy, you say roedd e'n. Remember, we do need the apostrophe N here. Okay, roedd e'n means he was happy in the park. Okay, rhif 3. Eto mae camgymeriad. Roedd nhw. There's something missing here. Okay, this does not work. So roedden nhw. Roedden nhw wedi darllen y llythyr. Okay, roedd hi wedi. Roedd hi is the correct ending. No apostrophe N with wedi. That is correct. Number 5, rhif 5 wedyn, roeddwn ni ddim. Wel, mae camgymeriad yma achos roeddwn positif, ond ddim negatif. It's got to be doeddwn ni ddim yn y negyddol. Iawn. Okay. Felly, gorchmynion. Okay. So, mae grid ar y sgrin nawr, a ar y chwith, mae gyda ni berfa, the verbs. Aros, to stay. Ysgrifennu, to write, redeg, to run, siarad, to speak, cerdded, to walk, a darllen, to read. Then we've got the stems, so arhos, ysgrifen, siarad, cerdd, and darllen. Something you will have done pan rydych chi wedi astudio am tygau, okay? So you've got to work out the stem. Now, to form gorchmynion commands yn Gymraeg, if you want the unigol, the singular command, you just add the letter A to the stem. So arhosa would be stay, singular version. So if you add A to this, A, you'd have ysgrifenna. Work out there, and then you can add A to it, and you'd have that one as well. Siarad is the stem, so add the A, siarad A, talk. Cerdd, cerdda, darllen, darllenna. However, if you want the lluosog, if you want the plural command, you add uch. Okay? So A for the singular and uch for the lluosog. So what I want you to do now, pause the video once again, okay, and complete this task for me, please. And then you can come back and look at the answers. Also, fel task ychwanegol, what you can do as part of your revision is think of 5 verbs which are not on the screen and work out the singular and the plural. Okay, felly, dyma'r atebion. So we've got read be in the stem. Okay, so we just add in a, so we had arhosa, ysgrifenna, reda, siarada, cerdda, darllenna. And the same thing on the right hand side, arhoswch, cerdwch, darllenwch. Okay, right, I orffen te, to finish off. We are going to match the cwestiynau i'r atebion, to the answers, okay? So, mae 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Mae 7 cwestiwn gyda ni. Cwestiwn 1, oes gwaith cartref gyda ni? Do we have homework? Wel, os ydy'r cwestiwn yn dechrau gyda oes, mae rhaid cael oes neu nac oes. Yes or no, okay? Oes, nac oes. Ydy Sam wedi bod I Abertawe eto? If the question starts with ydy, we know we need ydy neu nac ydy. Oedden nhw. Now we know anything to do with roedd was. So were they in the lesson today? So oedden or nac oedden would be the answer there. Ydw I wedi cael gwahoddiad? Have I had an invitation? Ydw I wedi? Have I had? So once again, okay, oit would be the answer there if you have. Okay, ydy Jack yn mynd i'r parti penwythnos nesa? Question starts with ydy or nac ydy for the answer. Hoffe ti astudio Sbaeneg? Would you like to study Spanish? Hoffwn or na hoffwn. And mwynheodd Charlotte y cyngerdd? Okay, mwynheodd, did Charlotte enjoy? We answer mwynheodd questions by saying do, do, mwynheodd hi'r cyngerdd, or naddo, mwynheodd hi ddim y cyngerdd. Okay, so oes questions need to be answered with oes or nac oes. Ydy questions with ydy or nac ydy. Oedden questions with oedden or nac oedden. Ydw I wedi questions would be oit in this instance. Ydy Jack, ydy or nac ydy. Hoffe ti, hoffwn or na hoffwn. Mwynheodd, do, naddo. Okay, so have a look at the answers on the right hand side and tell me please, so you can once again pause the video and work out which question matches to which answer. Okay, and then you can come back for the answers. Okay, so yn gloi te, let's quickly go through the answers. Okay, so oes gwaith cartref gyda ni? Oes, mae gwaith cartref mathemateg gyda ni. Ydy Sam wedi bod I Abertawe eto? Has Sam been to Swansea? Ydy, mae Sam wedi bod yna. Yes, Sam has been there. Oedden nhw yn y wers heddiw? Nac oedden. No, they weren't in the lesson today because doedden nhw ddim yn yr ysgol, they weren't in school. Ydw I wedi cael gwahoddiad? Oet, mae dy wahoddiad yn y post. Ydy Jack yn mynd i'r parti? Ydy. Ydy, mae Jack yn mynd i'r parti. Okay. Hoffe ti astudio Sbaeneg? Would you like to study Spanish? Beth mae'n gweud? Na hoffwn, achos hoffwn I astudio Cymraeg. Mwynheodd Charlotte y cyngerdd? Do. Mwynheodd hi'r cyngerdd. Okay, yes, she enjoyed the concert. So did she enjoy the concert? Yes, she enjoyed the concert. So as you can see here, the start of the answer has to match the question, but sometimes we do differ the answers. Okay, so what I would like you to do, please, is have a look at your answers today. Please rewind and pause the video as many times as you would like. Okay, it is there to be used and rewatched and have a go at putting it into different contexts. So for example, with this matching task, have a go at just changing maybe one word in the question and then seeing if you can write a response. Have a go at maybe changing it to a negative answer to practice that as well. Okay, right. Diolch yn fawr iawn am eich amser heddi yn ystod y sesiwn. Okay, if you do this session as part of your revision, it should take you about 45 to 50 minutes by the time you've paused the video and checked your answers. And if you do have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. And I will see you nesa yn sesiwn 2. Felly, diolch yn fawr iawn am eich amser heddi a welwch chi cyn bo hir.